If there were 3 magic questions that I could give to you to ask to every customer, would you do it? This is Ron Wysokarski for Real Estate in a Nutshell. All right, I'm gonna give you the top 3 questions, and if you watch to the end, I'll give you a little bonus. So the first thing that you should ask everybody that you talk to in the first conversation is, what are your goals? What should happen in this transaction to make it a win? Within that, they probably have 4 or 5 top things, the gotta haves. So we should not fail on getting at least 4 of those top 5 things. So let's find out the goal and make it so it's really clear and understandable to each party what a win looks like that makes up that goal. So the first thing, find out what their goal is. And by the way, sometimes they're not even sure, and that's where your consulting piece comes in. So the second thing that we need to find out is the timeline. How soon does this need to happen? And again, people have wavering timelines, and you're not always going to get the exact timeline the first time you ask. And if we say, in a perfect world, and a perfect house came along, and everything was perfect, when would you like to be in the house? And of course, everybody says, tomorrow, yesterday. That's not the real answer. The real answer is digging a little bit deeper. And the how soon might just sound like, I've listened to your goals. Now, how long do we have to accomplish them? Pretty broad statement. You can work on that timeline. What would cause that timeline to move up? What would cause it to move back? It could be any number of reasons that they can move that timeline forward or backward. And it's not always backwards. And if it's when I find the right house, I'll know it and I'll buy it. We hear that often. We need to dig deeper on what would make it move forward. What would make it so compelling that they'd be ready to go? And if it has to move back, what are those stumbling blocks? What are the things getting in the way of reaching your goal within the time that you've given? Pretty important stuff. And they're easy questions. So far, what's your goal? And how soon would you like it to happen? So the third thing is the funding piece. I want to make sure that when we talk about the funding piece, that it doesn't come across as a money grab or commission breath. But if we understand the goal, and I know that you want to have it done within the next 90 days, help me understand about the funding part of this. Is it a cash purchase? Is that cash available dependent upon the sale of something, an inheritance of something? The proverbial, I got a lawsuit that's waiting to cash out? Could be that. Is it with a lender? Have they been to the lender? Are they working on the credit? The down payment and the closing costs, are they in the bank? Are they gonna be in the bank? Is there a gift in there? Are they waiting on a tax refund? A big bonus at work that they get every year? Because by the way, some of those aren't happening this year. The funding piece is pretty important. Your 3 questions. What is the goal? How soon do we have to work together to make that happen? And tell me about the funding. That way we ensure every step of the way is moving towards the goal of getting you what you want in the time that you want, with a pretty good idea where the funding is coming from. So, I talked to you about a bonus. And as I look at my notes over here, it's what if we fail? What if we absolutely mess something up? What if the goal changed? What if we didn't understand clearly? What if we were sending the wrong properties or focusing on the wrong things? Maybe, just maybe, it was a family that's not, maybe there's some discord. Maybe they're not going to be together. Maybe there's kids involved. Maybe there's a new person in their life. That goal can change. So if we're only sending out properties based on the original consultation and we're not following up and adjusting that search, because by the way, you forget to adjust the search, they're probably going to go somebody that is thinking a little more forward and going to where they are now. We need to meet people where they're at. What if we don't get it on time? Is it something that we were talking about all along the way? I didn't realize it would take 45 or 60 days for an FHA or a VA loan. We wrote a contract for 30. You see, that doesn't look real good in your client's eyes. And your business partners, your lenders, and the other agents and the sellers or buyers involved, let's face it, we missed on expectations. We're going to whiff on getting there on the right time. And the funding piece. Are we sure? Did we get evidence? Did we verify that the cash was there? Did we see a bank statement? Did we actually get the pre-qualification letter and call the lender to make sure? Did we miss the step about, it wasn't on the pre-qual, but I guess you need 3% concessions to make the deal work because we don't have quite enough money to make the closing happen? There's a lot of reasons that we might miss the target. We might miss the goal. We might miss the timeline, or we might have missed something on the funding. This is all about being fundamentally sound. And while I know that we all know this, there's still the top 3 things. And that's what I want you to focus on. I hope you're enjoying these videos and the content. Drop a comment below. That would be greatly appreciated. Definitely give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed, well, why not? Get subscribing already. This is Ron Wojciechowski with Real Estate in a Nutshell.